Okay, and these huts here are slowly but surely being built. We currently have capacity for 30 people, and we've got 33 people. Okay, but at least the hut is finally being built. Now, the huts here really would be an amazing step up from these tents. Look, these tents would be amazing. It's definitely a step up from sleeping out under nothing, and potentially even sleeping in a cave, because cave systems can actually get anoxic or oxygen poor. You don't want that, that's not great. So having a hut like this, more ventilation, or a little tent like this, more ventilation, it keeps you sheltered from the worst of the elements, but it is still not great. A hut though, especially one... Oh, wait a minute. Are you guys weaving the sticks together? Are you going to fill it with mud now? Or plaster it with mud? I would love to see how they do this. I'm going to check as I build this. Because this is very reminiscent to me, at least, of how some huts were built in South Africa. Where what you actually had was, you had not a single frame like this. You actually had two frames. You had big poles, and then you had sticks between them. And then in between those sticks, you actually would pack the mud. And that then gets trapped between these sticks that you put between the big poles. So you'd have poles, and then you'd have basically have walls of sticks, and inside you would put mud there. And it would be nicely formed there, and that keeps out the elements. This is a much more permanent structure than this. The tents here would be great if you were more nomadic, and you can actually then pack it up and carry the most important or the most valuable things around to build it, sit up again. But this is a much more permanent setup. It's absolutely marvelous. I think I just heard some kind of deer or antelope calling. It may have been. It sounded like elk, but I don't think it's elk. I thought maybe it's Irish elk, but no, I don't know. Pretty sure I heard an animal bleating somewhere in the distance. Not sure. What have we got here? I think these are the two remainers of that hyena pack that we had taken out previously, or mostly taken out. Let's see. Also, see, Firedark, you mentioned you posted a Nat Geo article about it in the Discord. Oh, great! I'm definitely going to have a read through that then after the live stream. That is marvelous. Love it, love it, love it, love it. Thanks for sharing there as well. Oh, look, I did hear something. Look, there's a deer running through our camp, and there's another deer running through our camp. Oh dear. I've been waiting all evening to say that. Oh dear. Okay, you guys hunt the deer for us, please. The deer is running, and the deer is hopefully going to die. There we go. It is dead. Where is the other deer? There's a deer. Now, if they want to run through our camp, then there we go. Meat is back on the menu. Back on the menu. There we go. And I see, Bailey Potato, mentioning they've added Lagiacrus and Sagios, as well as a bunch of summer-related stuff. Also, arch-tempered Raydao and Duna. Oh, that's great. So nice bunch of new content there. That is marvelous. Oh, look at this. All right. So what we've got here with the hut, you can see there the frame still, and then it seems like they have plastered around the frame here. So a little bit different from how some of the huts in South Africa would be built, where you would have the sticks on the outside and then mud inside, be kept in the frame there. Here it is kind of slapped onto the sticks and then sticks to it, and that forms a nice little shelter. Okay, so it keeps out the wind. This is much warmer than these boring old tents that we used to live in. So it's really a massive step up. Okay, also picked up Railroad Tycoon 3 in the Steam sales. Game almost as old as I am. Railroad Tycoon 3. Oh, I played Railroad Empire back in the day, but that was also like 15, 16, 17 years ago, a long, long time ago. Oh, there's another deer. Have we got any other hunt? Yeah, we've got hunters. We've got hunters. You know, whoa, there are so many deers here. Okay, you guys shoot here. Yeah, you guys shoot here. You guys shoot that one. Oh, there's another one over here. This is like a massacre. Okay, guys. Yeah, we're hunting the deer. Any other deer that want to run through here? No? Okay, I think these are the... Oh, there are 4. No, there are 3. Okay, there's one there, and one there. Wow. Okay, you know. Interesting. It's like a real massacre. I think they're all dead. Okay, so. Doesn't sound very ecological of me now, does it? I did slaughter the whole herd that came through here. This is now to last us quite a while. It does mean that we don't have to go out to other areas to actually go and hunt. And you know, this reminds me very much of something that happened in South Africa, which was called the trekbokken, which basically means migrating antelope or migrating goats. Bokken, bok could be goats or could be antelope. Let's just see what the trader here has. Oh, flax domestication. Well. And it's only average commission. We can buy linen as well. Great stuff and cheese and stuff, but I want flax domestication. That is what I want. So let's see, we're going to sell a whole bunch of clothes because, let's be honest, we're going to get a whole bunch of dried skin coming in now. So we can also sell some bows here. We've got enough and we can easily make. Bone spear we can also... Oh, that's really like... let's take that... let me just even it out a bit. Okay, we need 2 more. What can we give? What? Not stone. Not that. I think that. And if all else fails, let's buy cheese. There we go. We have a cheese now. And we got flax domestication. Oh, that is marvelous. This means we will now be able to make flax. Or plant flax. Yes, indeed. There we go. Flax domestication. So we'll be able to plant flax. And we're going to do that next season. Next year we are going to do that. And when we have that, we'll be able to make clothes. Which is marvelous. Lovely. Lovely. Okay, we have a new milestone. Neo Farmer. The new farmer. Ah, great stuff. Okay. Johan Darky also mentioning the huts also signify more settled lifestyle. Indeed, since you can hardly take those materials with you on migration. Yes, indeed. So you build it once you have your agriculture set up in essence. You go, okay, we've got everything set up we need. We're going to do this now. You know what? Our bunch of people here, our tribe is actually growing. So what we are going to do is we are going to... Because I think this one is... Yeah, that's full. That is almost full. That is full. So we do need more dryers. Okay, so what we're going to do is we are going to build 2 more food dryers. And we're going to build that over here. Okay, we're not going to build too close to the riverbank here. We're not going to get into the riparian zone here. I can't wait for us to actually plant trees because I'm going to plant a whole bunch of trees along the riparian zone here to stabilize the riverbank here. But that will probably be next week. Alright, let's see here. Also, Potato mentioning it's very wattle and daub, which was used... Very wattle and daub, which was used by Europeans. Oh, was covered in a coat of lime on the outside as well. Okay, yes. So, that lighter color we see there is most likely lime that was used to coat it. There we go. A whiter coloration there. White walls will reflect a lot of sunlight, so it makes it cooler in summer. May not necessarily want that in winter, but yeah, that is a nice coloring that you can see there as well. So wattle and daub. So wattle then being the sticks and the daub, I guess, being the mud. Oh, that's very familiar. Anyway, let's see. Fields are in growing stage. If you want to look closer on them, yes, let's have a look here. I've paused the game. Let's unpause. There we go. We've got emmer growing quite nicely here. Oh, there we go. Thanks. We can have a good look at them a little bit more closely. Yes. Okay. So let's see. The emmer looks like this. I just want to quickly see whether our einkorn looks slightly different. Slightly, yes. Okay, but one can actually see a little bit better with our emmer over here, what I was talking about with the spikelets. So let's have a look here. So when we're talking about grasses, right, we have this section. Let me just look for a single one that's a little bit easier to explain. There we go. Okay, we've got this thing up here, which are a whole bunch of kernels. Okay, and those that thing we see there is actually, this is not a seed yet. These are flowers. Okay, so this is a whole inflorescence, a whole cluster of flowers together. And in each one of these little bumps we see there is what we call a spikelet. A spikelet is an individual flower of grasses. Okay, and in the wild ancestors to modern wheat, in einkorn and I believe in emmer as well, there was one flower, one seed that can be formed per flower, per spikelet. So each of these little bumps would only have one seed developing in it. Alright, and as mentioned, in the wild emmer and wild einkorn, these seeds, when they are ripe, would actually fall off the central stalk here, and they would be scattered all over the place, giving them a good chance of germination, less competition because they're a little bit more widely spaced out. Whereas if they remain on here, they're easier to harvest for us as humans, but they wouldn't survive in the wild because the moment everything, or they would only fall to the ground when this whole stalk dies, and then all the seeds germinate in close proximity to one another, and most of those seedlings are going to die, and the genes would be lost again from the system. Alright, now what we also see sticking out here, these little stalks that you see sticking out of those seeds, we call those awns. A-W-N, that's an awn. And those awns are very important because it actually helps the seed bury itself. So it's got a function. In nature, everything that you see has a function. And those awns there, what happens is as there is a lot of moisture, a high humidity. Oh, we've got our first hut officially being built. Great stuff. That means this one is currently being built, and then we'll build that one after that. Right. So when there's high humidity, what happens is that awn actually kind of twists a little bit, and it actually starts digging into the ground. Then as the humidity goes down, it kind of straightens out or relaxes again, but it doesn't get pulled out of the soil because it's got a whole bunch of, I think, silica crystals to some extent, little hairs in essence, keeping it in the ground. And then when at night it is more humid again, it kind of digs into the soil again, and during the daytime it kind of just relaxes. Nighttime it digs in, and over time that seed with that awn is dug up to about an inch, 2.5 centimeters into the ground. And that is the exact correct depth for that seed to germinate perfectly. So the seeds actually would sow themselves with that awn that is attached to it. And that is just, that's just amazing. That is just amazing. They're not the only plants that do that. There are a whole bunch of grasses that do this. We in South Africa have got red grass. If you are from Australia, you may know it as kangaroo grass. If you played some safari, it's a red oat grass. That's Thermida trihandra. Very useful grazing grass for areas where you have animals grazing. But that grass also will kind of dig into the soil and plant itself. And some other plants in the stalkbill family, for example, in the geranium, the pelargonium family, they will also kind of plant themselves, because when the seed is ripe, it actually twists off the main stalk and then can either blow around a little bit or dig into the soil a bit. Yeah, a whole bunch of stuff that can happen. Absolutely amazing. Yeah, we tend not to think about these things, but I just think it's absolutely amazing. Alrighty. Now, what have we got? You guys are busy building that. That is great. That's really, really great. We've got a lot of raw meat, a lot of cured meat, some raw fish, a lot of dry fish. We've got some berries, fruit and pulses, one cheese still left. Lots of bow, lots of skins. Alright, some fishing tools. I love being able to see everything up here. My word, food has shot up. But of course, we are 33 people now. So the problem is that when winter rolls around, well, we are potentially going to have some problems with food shortages. So we are going to really have to hope that the plants here, at least these grains, grow very nicely. Okay, it doesn't seem like our lentils were actually planted, so I'm afraid we missed out on that most likely. That's fine, we'll get that next season. Okay, soon we'll also be able... Oh, wait a minute, can we harvest flax yet? No, that's also fall. Okay, so that's also in autumn. We can harvest the flax over here. Currently, what it is doing, it is getting ready to flower. It is flowering. Linseed, or flax as it's called. They would be flowering, produce these nice bluish purplish flowers, and then when they are pollinated, they form all these little seeds, which we can then use in cooking, or you can use to make linseed oil with, to either varnish furniture or to do oil painting. I use linseed oil quite a lot when I do paint. Hasn't been in ages, but when I do oil paintings, linseed oil is what I will also use. But flax, the flax seeds, although you can eat it, you also shouldn't eat too much of it, because it is, to some extent, at least a little bit poisonous. So, edible, but in smaller amounts would be best. You don't want to eat too much thereof. Alright. Now, interesting thing is happening around our settlement here. We are selectively thinning trees. We are chopping out trees that are of less use to us. So, oak trees we are keeping around because we can get tannins from them. And we are keeping service trees around because we can get berries from them. The fir tree we are keeping around because we can get tannins from them. Pine trees we don't need, so we are going to chop them down. Slowly but surely we are chopping down some trees and keeping other trees. And it's very likely that this is what also happened around settlements. And it's something you would see around these Stone Age settlements, but also later on as well. Keeping the more useful trees close to you and not chopping them out, or if you do chop them out, replanting some, but getting rid of the more useless ones, the ones that you would only be using for timber and not actually be getting food from. And you have this shift in species in the forest over here, as we're going from a truly mixed woodland to one that is dominated by some more useful species. Beech trees here are going to start disappearing most likely from our forest here as we chop them down. Pine trees will start disappearing. Birch trees will start disappearing or becoming a little bit rarer. The chestnuts, the oaks, the fir trees here, the service berries, all those trees will in relative abundance become more abundant because they are not chopped out by our tribe. Okay, I have officially put a ban on chopping out any of those trees. You do not chop out useful trees. I see Hears, you're also here. Hello there, Hears. Welcome to the stream. Sorry guys, I did miss a message or two there because for some reason it didn't show that you guys have chatted there. So hello there, welcome to the stream. Glad to have you with us. And it's actually Themida trihandra for the win, indeed. Themida trihandra is a lovely grass. If you have that growing on your reserve or your farm or wherever you are, it is great stuff. Let's see, lentils will be planted in winter. Okay. Oh, of course. Lentils are planted in winter. So too the peas will be planted in winter. Interesting, lentils being planted in winter because I typically know them as a spring species. I would have expected them to be planted in spring, but it makes sense that you would plant them in winter here. But you would most likely plant it as you start getting to the end of winter and the ground starts thawing. You don't want to plant it in the middle of winter when it is cold and maybe they come up and they get knocked by that cold snap there. But yeah, absolutely lovely. I love the diversity of plants you can actually cultivate here, and I'm really looking forward to this fruit tree domestication. But before we get that, you know what? I think it is time for us to start looking at goat domestication, or start looking at animal husbandry. And this now is the question. Where is a goat to domesticate? There's a reindeer. We can't domesticate that. Looking for, I'm guessing you can get the young goats. Oh, we've got another cave bear over there. Oh, that one is in very bad condition. Have you got something to hunt with? You've got a knife. Oh, that a knife? This is a knife. Go take out that bear with a knife, or not to go take out that bear with a knife. Look, Akin is old. Akin has had a good life. Akin is going after a cave bear. Okay, Akin, run. You need to get there as quickly as possible. We don't want you too winded, but we do want you to actually get there before the bear dies of natural causes. We want you to be the one to take out the bear. This bear is in very bad shape. So we may be actually doing it a favor, taking her out. Shame. Most likely had some kind of kerfuffle with some other carnivore, possibly another cave bear, probably the cave lions. So yeah, shame. She is not doing too well. Oh, it's a young female. It's not even an old female. I thought it was an old female. And this is a young female, probably one that dispersed away from her natal area or where she was born. And now she is, now she is going to encounter Akin. Akin, come on. Any moment now. Oh, look at that. Disease is affecting a crop. The einkorn is being affected by a disease. Well, now. Oh, there's the einkorn. There we go. Some of it is harvestable, I think, and the rest, I think, is actually affected by the disease. Oh, they are ripe and the other ones are not ripe yet. But these ones will now be harvested. The emmer are healthy. And you see, this is why it's useful to have not just one cereal planted, 2 cereals at least, so that if the one gets a disease, the other one can still survive. That's the idea of polyculture rather than a monoculture. So having multiple plants planted rather than just one. Okay, this cave bear is being tracked by Akin. Akin is moving very slowly because Akin is tired. Oh, Akin, are you going to get to the cave bear before she dies of natural causes? No, I don't think so. Akin would have been great to have. Would have been great if Akin actually had a spear or something to throw. Instead, she's just got a knife. Alright. I see Hani also mentioned tip for animal husbandry. They freeze in winter, so you need a few things for them. The stables, I believe, would be important. You need to build animal house for them and have enough straw or wheat and water. That must be delivered by villagers to them. During non-winter seasons, they are okay. Okay. Also, you want approximately 20 members of each species. Wow. To have safe reproduction without need to domesticate new ones from time to time. Okay, yeah, Akin has decided, stuff it, she's not going after the cave bear. She is going home. Okay, Akin, you've lived a good life. You do you. You've got the right to go do that. Fine. Akin is not keen on hunting a bear with a knife. She did not want to go down in history as an absolute legend. No. Let's see. Oh, we need straw. There we go. We're probably going to get a bit of straw with the harvesting that is happening here. I suspect we will get that. That'll be great. Let's just speed up a little bit. Everybody coming to harvest now. Workload again is a little bit lower. That is absolutely marvelous. It means people can actually come and harvest stuff quite nicely. There we go. Okay, so Marna over here has harvested straw and grain for us. That is great stuff. Okay, so that means our hut will most likely be built soon enough. Hopefully before winter actually rolls around. Since we are in fall now, we may as... we need weaving first before we can harvest flax. Where do we get weaving? Is that here? No, where's weaving? There we go, there's weaving. Okay, we need weaving. We haven't got enough knowledge points yet for that. Okay, so we can't harvest the flax yet. Kind of sad, but that's alright. That is alright. Are you harvesting? Oh, yeah, you are. I just paused you. Okay, so Gorna over here is also harvesting. I'm assuming that there would be some straw that we can get, but most likely not a lot of grain from the einkorn here that are diseased. Okay, be interesting to see. There we go. Oh, you did get grain. Oh, that's cool. Cool beans. Okay, I'm looking forward to seeing how we do now in terms of grain and bread and those types of things. You guys, what do we need? We need 4 straw in order to actually build the storage hut. That shouldn't be a problem. We should now get more than enough straw. Oh, in fact, we already have 9 straw. So let's just put this as high priority. So people can bring the straw and then build the hut. 2 more straw needed. Perfect. Okay, I'm going to just drink some coffee while I'm waiting for them to come and build this. Okay, so most likely what our tribe will now settle into is another rhythm. Because in winter, there are very few things that we can harvest from the surrounding area. Very few fruit we can harvest. Ooh, we can harvest chestnuts. That's beech tree. There the chestnut is. Yeah, just collect nuts, please, someone. I think there's a service tree. We don't have more chestnuts here. I think chestnuts. There were some to this side. That's more beech trees. That's an oak tree. I think there we go. There are chestnuts over here. Might as well come and harvest those nuts there for nice roasting over the fire. There we go. Go and collect some chestnuts. All right. So yeah, anyway, as I was saying, there were very few things for us to harvest in winter in this area around our settlement. And we can't grow most crops. Most crops won't grow during winter. So in winter, what we are most likely going to do is go and hunt. And we're going to get a lot of meat, bring that back to base, And then when spring rolls around again, we are going to have a bit more grain growing, agriculture. So we're going to go through this rhythm of more carnivorous, more herbivorous, more carnivorous, more herbivorous, until at least we have the animal husbandry properly set up as well. Right. There we go. Another hut done, which means we can now upgrade another one. First storage hut also done. Marvelous. Ah, yes. I love the fact... Oh, there we go. Look at the haystack. Lots of hay being stored there. I believe that haystack has that central pole there, so it's easy to stack all the hay around it. That is brilliant. I love taking our little village and seeing how it changes from being tents or dominated by tents to one dominated by huts and stuff like that. Oh, that is marvelous. Okay, so they're taking this, dismantling it, and they are hopefully then going to bring everything we need to upgrade it to a hut. I think we should have everything. Mud, yeah, we've got enough mud. We've got 8 mud. Yeah, we technically have enough mud for 2 huts. I think we've got enough everything for 2 huts, actually. Yeah, but we're not going to do anything more now because we're just waiting for this hut to first be broken down so that we've got enough place for our people, more or less enough place for our people to live. Okay, now, while we are hopefully collecting... Oh, Emil! Emil, where is Emil? Emil... Emil has just died. Where is Emil? Emil is dead. Oh, it's nice. People are dying of old age. Rather than, you know, misfortune during hunts. I honestly don't know where Emil is. Emil is just kind of... She's just dropped somewhere. Is it in the tent? I think Emil... Well, yeah, Emil died in the tent. No, that's Keg. Keg is resting. I suspect Emil was here somewhere. But Emil is now dead, and we can't carry her body off, can we? No. Emil has gone to the nice big tent in the sky. Alright. Same. Another one bites the dust. I've had a few of the villagers dying of old age. Yeah, it's fine. This happens. Now at least we have got enough space for everybody. We can... you don't have to stress about that. Alrighty, let's see. Since you hunt for all those seasonal plants, maybe set few gathering areas to not miss them. Oh yes, they're also a nice source of tech points, up to 1,000 units gathered per food type. Oh yes, that is very important. Let's have a look here. Extract water, that's fine. What I'm going to do is just harvest wild plants. I like setting quite large areas. Yeah. I think I'm going to place one there. I'm going to place one here. And I like harvesting in this general area as well. There we go. Hopefully that will help. Hopefully that will also help. Okay. Most of our fields have in fact been harvested. There are some einkorn over here that have not been harvested, but I think these ones are diseased. Yeah, there we go. This plant is affected by disease and can not be harvested. Okay, so we're just going to remove... Okay, so that is delete... Oh, wait. Einkorn there. This one is not affected by disease. This one is... Oh, it was. Okay, it was. The entire plant was in fact affected by disease. There we go. Where are you going? You're recovering morale. Okay. What are you carrying? Flour. Okay, so you brought the flour to the totem for some morale. Oh yes, I did build some two totems over here as well. I just thought, you know what, it is quite nice to have that close to the burial mounds over here. Yeah, I thought that would be quite good. Now, what have we got? Oh, you're carrying a whole log here to the fire. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, go burn some wood there. We've got enough logs, I think 17 logs at the moment. Oh, another hut built. So let's build another one, shall we? So the nice thing, the huts here do have more place for people to live than the storage tents. Okay, because now we've got a capacity for 36 people. Okay, so that is due to the huts over here. 1, 2, 3, 4 people per hut, 3 people per tent. Okay. When we have built this hut, we can, when we have constructed a hut here, we can actually break down 2 tents. Fine. Oh, don't delete. Oh, it deletes the whole field. The disease plants are automatically removed at the end of the season. Oh, okay. So what have we got? We had einkorn over here. Oh, it's alright. We'll just have less einkorn next time. Alrighty.